What's up everybody, this is Nightwing2303 from sneakerfiles.com. Today we're going to be doing another performance review. This time it's going to be on the Jordan Fly Wade, Dwayne Wade's first signature sneaker with Jordan brand. So without wasting too much of your time, let's get right into it. So as usual, we'll start off with the bottom of the sneaker here and work our way up. I'm going to do minor comparisons to the 2011. From what I heard, the Air Jordan 2011 originally was the Fly Wade. They decided to go in a different direction, obviously, and go with this makeup here, which I thought was a phenomenal shoe in general. Very groundbreaking. Things that have never been done before were done on the 2011, and honestly, in my personal opinion, I actually do favor the Fly Wade performance-wise. You know, we'll go over all that stuff in a bit. But so really quickly, the outsoles here are slightly modified. So on this one, you have a basic clear sole, what they call a green sole, and it's a very soft, very smooth type of material. And then on this one here, it's more texturized. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but there is texture within the outsole here, whereas this one is just a smooth based rubber. So that's one difference. Second difference is that the Fly Wade has an outrigger, and the 2011 technically has an outrigger since its base is a little bit wider off of this angle of the shoe here, but it wraps more over the shoe, where this one is a pronounced outrigger. And then on the bottom, the traction is almost identical. The main differences are the flex grooves here. So there's a little bit of additional flex grooves in the Fly Wade, whereas the 2011, it's slightly different. And traction-wise, these ones just didn't cut it out for me. Personally, it was okay, but it was nothing great. But the composite that they used on the Fly Wade here worked so much better, especially after time. Much like the Zoom Kobe 6, these outsoles need to be broken in heavily. I played in these for, I want to say, about 9 to 12 hours, somewhere around that timeline, before they actually got to be a great gripping shoe. Up until that point, I was constantly having to wipe my feet. These were worn indoors only, and you might be able to see all of the dust and dirt and everything like that. So these things did collect quite a bit of debris on the bottom of the shoe, which made me have to wipe my feet quite often. But after those 9 to 12 hours, every game afterwards has been just utterly fantastic as far as the traction grip. So because the material that they use for this outsole is slightly different than the actual 2011, I feel this one's a little bit more of a sturdy rubber, a little bit harder, a little bit more firm, so it grips a little bit better than the original version. From heel to toe, everything was fantastic. I still don't like this pivot point here. I actually don't find that most shoes need a pivot point. It's not that hard to pivot. You know, you're just moving. So this to me is just kind of, in my opinion, I think it's useless. But they put it on here. It is what it is. And after the break-in time, like I was saying, it works wonderfully. And I really liked the traction after it broke in. I was really disappointed in the first few games because I thought that was it. It was just going to be a repeat of the 2011, which it wasn't. So traction on this shoe was great after time. So make sure that if you pick this up, that you give it enough time to break in on the bottom in order to fully utilize the outsole's traction base. So the cushion on the shoe is a combo cushion, much different than the 2011, where the 2011 came with two separate insoles, one for Max Air and the other one for Zoom Air. This one gives you the best of both, so you have Max Air in the heel here, wraps all the way around. It's somewhat encapsulated, but it is visible, so it's just recessed inside the Phylon a little bit. And then in the forefoot area, you have a full zoom bag. Inside of the shoe, you have the gray liner. It's you know, it's really comfortable. I really like that stuff. I prefer that over the nylon. It gives you just that little bit extra step-in feel of you know, extreme comfort, which is nice. And then the insole is ortholite. Again, right when you step into the shoe, they feel extremely cushioned, mostly because of this insole here. And just like the LeBron 8 postseason, the ortholite kind of canceled out that responsive, bouncy feeling that you get from the Zoom in the forefoot. However, it is in place, so you know that it's working. It doesn't do anything other than you just cannot feel it as much as you would if there was a regular insole in there. You can always change the insoles out. It's not going to be a big deal. You can put a standard insole inside, and that'll give you that forefoot feeling that you normally receive in a Zoom Air based sneaker. So after that, you have your full-length Phylon, and the Phylon, I think, was the lifesaver of the shoe in general. It's a really soft, very responsive Phylon, so I really like that. And the cushioning in the shoe from heel to toe, whether you were transitioning or just on your toe or landing on a jump, or from a jump or rebound, or you know, whatever it is you're doing when you land on your heel, I thought that everything worked out perfectly within itself, and you really didn't have to worry about anything at all. You know, everything was taken care of for you. Cushion was fantastic. It took me a little bit of time to get used to the airbag in the heel, because I am used to Zoom Air, or even most of the newer shoes are just putting Zoom in the front and nothing in the heel, so it was a little bit weird having that back there, especially since I just came off of playing with the postseasons where they have a full 360 bag, which is extreme comfort with an Air Max technology, and this one's a little bit more slimmed down, so this felt a little bit harder than the LeBrons, but again, it's a smaller bag, and after a while everything breaks in and it's perfect. So I'd say cushioning in this shoe is just, it's awesome. Again, if you want a little bit more responsiveness from your Zoom Air, just take the insole out, because it is that foam ortholite, and put in a standard insole and you'll be good to go. The fit of the flyweight was actually very, very nice for a change. It was very nice all the way around, especially when comparing it to the Air Jordan 2011, which I'll bring out once again. And you can see the shape of the eyelet panels here are completely different. These are a little bit set back, these are set back a little bit wider, so they will hug your foot and contain it a little bit more when you lace everything up. And then the best part that I feel that they added onto the shoe was the cut-out notches that you would see on something like the Dunk or the Air Jordan 1, which was missing on this shoe. Now, when you are running and your shoe flexes, that's exactly right where everything bends. So it is keeping your foot contained from here up and allowing your forefoot to move freely. The Air Jordan 2010 had the independent toe cap, which did the same exact thing but with less material here. I wouldn't say less material, but it was a separate piece of material. So it did a great job as far as your forefoot transition. This shoe, even though there is no independent toe cap, because that cut is there, everything moves perfectly and in place, and I absolutely love it. I think that this type of style right here needs to be implemented a little bit more if you're not going to have a independent toe cap, which most shoes don't. So instead of having one single layer that is all the way through so that when you bend your foot everything flexes out and stretches and really deforms your fit, when you have this one, it's just moving in the area that you want it and keeping everything else that's supposed to stay in place, making this an optimal fit for many different wears and foot shapes, which is something that I personally love. The interior of the fit is a one-piece sleeve boot. It's attached to the sock liner here, and it's very comfortable. The tongue is nicely padded, pretty decently ventilated. This is the ventilation right here. And then you also have a very nice inside liner. this whole area feels really great inside. The heel notches right here, they really contain your foot in place in the heel zone area, and I personally think that this felt really great as far as the fit. There was very little break-in time, like I was saying, and everything just really flowed very nicely together. Again, in my opinion, this is a complete upgrade from the 2011, just in my personal opinion. So, you know, everything in this shoe I feel was literally fantastic as far as the fit goes. I'm just mainly concerned about the materials not lasting more than a season, or I wouldn't say more than a season, but during a full season. So breathability in the shoe was sort of a drawback. It wasn't a huge issue for me personally, mainly because the fit of the sneaker was so nice, and like I said earlier, it really contained and conformed to your foot. But the only areas that you have that are perforated are right here on the toe box, and then the outside side panels right here, and then your mesh tongue. Now these are all the way through, so that's most of your perfs right there for ventilation, so that's always a good thing right there. But it's being blocked by the sock liner that is inside, so this kind of traps the moisture inside of your foot, or inside of the shoe a little bit, and kind of soaks it up. But breathability wasn't horrible. I would give the 2011 better breathability points, because this shoe was just basically like wearing a sock with a leather shell around your foot. Alright guys, so that pretty much takes care of the review on the Jordan Flyweight. It's a absolute beast on court once they are broken in. Break-in time is minimal, like I was saying earlier with the upper, but the traction needs some work when you are playing, so just give it a few games, and after that everything becomes wonderful. I would recommend this for pretty much any guard and any forward position, both small and forward. It's doable for a center, especially if you're a quick center, you like to be on your feet and move around a bit. But this is a versatile shoe right here. You know, in my opinion, this is absolutely one of the best performance sneakers that Jordan Brand has put out this year by far, in my opinion. So yes, it does beat the Air Jordan 2011 to me personally. So with that said, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as check out sneakerfiles.com. You can also hit up my site, nightwing2303.com, and stay tuned for our next performance review, which will be on the Adidas Adizero Crazy Lights. So until next time guys, see you later.